All
right, we are now on the air. It's the Village of Peotone Board Meeting for July 28th, 2014. We begin by rising and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Riker.
Here.
Mr. Hennke. Mr. Wicker.
Here.
Mr. Hack.
Here.
Mr. Callahan.
Here.
Mr. Forsythe.
Okay, let the record show that we have a quorum present and we may conduct business officially. First order of business being the approval of the minutes from the July 14th, 2014 regular village board meeting. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of July 14th, 2014.
Second.
Motion by trustee Reichert, seconded by trustee Hack to approve the July 14th, 2014 minutes. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Riker.
Yes.
Mr. Hack.
Yes.
Mr. Callahan.
Yes.
Mr. Wicker.
Yes.
Motion carries and the minutes are officially approved. I'm waiting for more voices. Okay, now we come to the accounts payable and the payroll. Trustees, you have in your packet the payroll for the pay period ending July 19th of 2014 in the amount of $45,615.91. Under accounts payable from the general funds, bills $12,102.24 plus another set of bills totaling $32,585.62. From the motor fuel tax fund, bills totaling $6,740.68. And from the water and sewer fund, bills totaling $2,081.35, and another set of bills totaling $11,206.71. Total for all these categories of bills is $64,716.60. We'll entertain a motion to pay the bills.
I make a motion, we pay the bills.
Motion by trustee Wicker, seconded by
Second.
trustee Reichert to pay the bills as presented. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Wick.
Yes.
Mr. Riker.
Yes.
Mr. Callahan.
Yes.
Mr. Hack.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries and the bills are paid as noted. We come to the part on the agenda for public comment and or questions, and we have no one present from the public. So we'll move on. Trustees, you will find in your packet the clerk, collector, and treasurer reports with the revenues and investments. If there are no questions, we will move on to the police chief report. Chief?
No relevant information for the board.
Okay. That's it. All right, move down to the engineer's report. Any updates on anything?
No, not right now.
Okay. We have no old business, we come to new business. And the first item is to acknowledge Bob Hennke as the new supervisor of streets and alleys. This is making it official, Bob. We voted for you. I think you've even gotten a paycheck from us. But this is to officially recognize you as the new head of streets and alleys and other assorted duties as declared by us as we need them. And we want to officially recognize your moving up to that. And I gotta say this, I'm gonna let you talk in a minute.
Sure.
But one of the things I said when Tom left was, he was a former student of mine. Okay, Bob is a former student of mine. It's not a prerequisite to get any jobs here. And just the same as Tom's wife was also a former student, Bob's wife was a former student. I can't take credit for the kids because I left them in the classroom before they became that. So it's one of the great things in life is to be, being a teacher is you get to see what happens to the kids you taught when they were 12 and 13 years old and how they turn out. Bob's turned out pretty good. And we're really, really pleased to have you And I'll let you introduce your family and,
Sure. You want me to go here?
yes, that way everybody can,
Okay.
including the folks at home.
First and foremost, I want to thank you, Mr. Grant, board, for giving me the opportunity to serve my community I grew up in. It's an honor. I mean, I lived here over 30 years, so hard work pays off. So, but anyway, I want to thank you guys for that opportunity. But anyway, this is my daughter Molly, my daughter Macy, and my wife Jeanette. So,
I have to put in a plug for Jeanette, you're still teaching school, right?
I still am teaching kindergarten, 15 years now.
Which most, I will tell you, kindergarten teachers either start their career and end their career, or start their work for a few years and pull their hair out and go to another grade level. So it's to your credit that you're sticking it through, and I will tell you, they were both very good students.
she pulled my hair out, actually.
And do we have any official questions we need to find out from, about his duties? Anything that we need an update on? As long as we've got him here, cornered?
I think you're gonna do great, but, I think we talked a little bit before the last meeting. I don't wanna say fresh blood, cause you've been here for 15 years, but the new ideas, anything you come across, I mean,
Absolutely.
let us know.
Yeah,
And I wanna do everything I can to try to help, so.
thank you.
Yeah, we want you to leave your mark on this. We really do.
I plan on it.
Good.
I really do.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Bob.
and welcome to the family. All right. We're going to move down the agenda to the Knights of Columbus request for permission for their annual fund drive for folks with intellectual disabilities. George, you want to go through that?
The Knights of Columbus request permission to sell Tootsie Rolls in the village to raise money for the intellectually disabled. The drive is scheduled Friday, September 19th through Sunday, September 21st. They'll be distributing at key intersections and outside local businesses.
And this is just a formality on our part to, once again, approve their collection. So I will entertain a motion to grant permission for the Knights of Columbus to fundraise during the weekend of September 19th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Wicker, seconded by trustee Riker. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Reichert?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Motion carries. All right. Next item has to do with the scope of work for 2014 paving. Something we're going to make you, you're going to be supervising. George?
Staff has prepared a potential scope of work for the 2014 paving program. We have budgeted $247,000 for village road and bridge work this year. First priority is work on the Corning Avenue Bridge east of Route 50, that's next to the cemetery. This bridge was inspected last year, and the recommendation was to replace the asphalt decking before the need for further repairs is generated. In the event any further work becomes evident, when the decking is removed, there is $50,000 in the budget for this work. Should no further repairs be necessary, the cost could be substantially less than $50,000. Any remaining balance from this project could be shifted to other paving projects on the list. After the Corning Avenue Bridge, the other projects listed in the priorities table are recommended for inclusion in the scope of work. These projects would constitute the formal scope of work in the bid. Projected costs are engineering estimates, and actual bids frequently come in lower than the estimate. If the full budgeted amount for Corning Avenue Bridge is not needed and bids come in lower than the estimate, it could be possible to add the additional work in the options table. Staff seeks authorization to proceed with whatever work can be done on the options table with any remaining balance for the year. The priority list includes portions of Meadow Lane, Ethel Street, Maple Lane, Jean Street, part of Lark Street, pardon me, it's the cul-de-sac, and then the Corning Avenue Bridge rehab. The streets in the streets in the options list are miscellaneous patching on Bellevue Drive and the other part of the Lark Street cul-de-sac. The streets in the priority list are mostly found in Meadows subdivision. Meadows subdivision has 2 levels of road quality. The older section has not seen road improvements for decades and is in disrepair. The newer section to the west has been developed in the past few years and has relatively new roads with acceptable pavement quality. In addition, most of the roads listed on the priority list are collector streets and carry traffic from adjoining streets and subdivisions. Last year, the paving project included a portion of the streets in Meadows subdivision, primarily the entrances off of Durante Road. The streets listed in the priority table will bridge the gap of old pavement that exists between the road work conducted last year and the newer pavement. In essence, the scope completes the work begun last year. Once the board approves the scope of work, the engineers are then free to do the final engineering on it and get prepare the bids and get them out for work, get them out for bid.
Trustees, I will entertain a motion to approve the scope of work and authorize any optional work based on funding availability.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Hack, seconded by trustee Reichert, to approve the scope of work and authorize any optional work based on the funding availability. Please call the roll.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries and the scope of work is now, for the coming year, is officially decided. We come down to the need to go into executive session. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session on 2 purposes. One is collective bargaining, and the other is personnel, in particular the employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees. Is there a motion to go into executive sessions for those purposes?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion by trustee Callahan, seconded by trustee Reichert to go into executive session for the purposes of collective bargaining and personnel. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
And Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Motion carries and we go into executive session. Now, yes, we'll take a picture. And, yeah, I will tell you right now that we are now at open session, and returning to our agenda, we have approval to hire a replacement full-time officer, and I will, all right, entertain a motion to hire Brian Fravel to have a start date of July 29, 2014, with pay and benefits as per the bargaining agreement.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Wicker.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Hack to hire Brian Fravel with a start date of July 29th and pay and benefits per the bargaining agreement as full-time police officer. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Motion carries, and Mr. Fravel is now part of our police department. Our family, yes. On the agenda, moving down, I was going to say something earlier. This has been a busy weekend for all of us in terms of, we had the Relay for Life on Friday. That was very well attended and well done. I think we had a little bit more local control over what happened in that program than they have had in the last couple of years, and that was nice. We had the farmers market to start Saturday morning, and even though the booths were few, the response by the community is most of the stuff got sold out. And I will tell you, as having bought a lot of the fruit from the vendor who came from Michigan, the apricots are really good. And so were some of the other fruit, but the apricots are really good. And we also had the Education Foundation did the antique tractor ride as a fundraiser, and the chief led them on a little parade through the downtown area, through the car show, which kind of added, I think, a little bit, another dimension to the car show. That was very well attended and supported. And of course, we had the car show, which had a great selection of cars from all eras. And then one of the things that somebody finally came up with, one of those little Cushman scooters that you see on some of the college campuses in days of old. So all in all, it was quite a weekend of events for Peotone. And having all that happening at the same time, I would hope that if we have that, if we're the future, that we do a little bit more as a joint group to promote all the activities and attract more folks from outside of town. I think it's easily done because there were all positive comments that I got from everybody about everything that happened. Makes you proud of the town. And having said that, is there any other announcements? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the July 28th, 2014 Village of Peotone Board meeting. Don't all shout.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Hack, seconded by trustee Riker to adjourn. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
And Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries and we are officially adjourned.